Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Dawn of War 2 replay. So on the left side as the blue Farseer, we have Sostenes. So on the right side as the Lord Inquisitor, we have Halfpan. I just realized something. This is stripped straight from the campaign, isn't it? The Dawn of War 1, not Dawn of War 2 non-expansion campaign. Very nice. Donde eres pa? Brazil. I guess they're not speaking Spanish. Oh, one's from Brazil, one's from Bolivia. Brazil's primary language is Portuguese. What's Bolivia? Is that Spanish or Portuguese? So we got a fight from South America. Wherever that is in space. We do got Imperial Guardsman, does spot the Sentinel. The Sentinel does not have the Stomp upgrade just yet, nor is it being upgraded at the moment. The Imperial Guardsmen do force back the Guardians. Down south, the Lord Commissar does get forced back by the Howling Banshees. Apparently having a bunch of angry ladies shouting in your face. It's not like the most pleasant of times. Are they all named Karen? Either way, we do have the Northern VP now being captured on up.
We will stand against any enemy.
As this point is going to be decaptured by the Sentinel. On the left side, Imperial Guardsmen have been reinforced. Other Imperial Guardsmen down south, supporting the Farseer and the Howling Banshees, or even more south. Not Imperial Guardsmen. Guardians are pushing their way forward and head to cover. They do lose a model to the Sentinel. And he's going to repair up the Sentinel while in combat. Sergeant upgrade being researched in this squad. This squad already has a Sergeant upgrade as well. I just realized something. They have the skin that's the desert, like, skin. So that's a perfect skin for this map. The Lord Commissar does get a nice stun there on the Howling Banshees. Sentinel's charging on Sweet Core, does have the Stomp upgrade. The Howling Banshees will get the power generator. And now he should be able to stomp it, no problem there. Yeah, get some nice knockback there. Imperial Guardsmen are going to be focusing on the Howling Banshees. They are much more squishier target, which is a good target. Focus fire by them. Down south, we've got the Sentinel. I need to capture these points. Lord Inquisitor has captured the power point as well. This one has an upgrade of the battle equipment, increasing the health and damage. Was it by 10%? 33%. Maximum health by 33% and gives them access to shields. So no damage, just unless you count the plasma grenade. Both these Imperial Guardsmen pushing forward together. They will find the Howling Banshees. Howling Banshees can engage one, but not two at a time. He's charging forward now. Has been upgraded the aspect of fleetness. And does get a nice shot off there. Does do a stomp there, knocking back a good chunk of those Howling Banshees, but also knocks back some of his own Imperial Guardsmen. Imperial Guardsmen are charging the melee against the Howling Banshees. Howling Banshees are actually severely wounded at this moment in time. Farseer does get a nice special attack there, knocking the group back. And we'll say the Howling Banshees. The Howling Banshees still have 3 models remaining, so not a whole lot of bleed there. This Imperial Guardsman, however, is getting quite wounded. The Farseer is now receiving some fire, and does receive a nice stun there. This Imperial Guardsman is severely wounded, but still has 6 members. Farseer will go down to the Lord Inquisitor. Now we've got an artillery spotter being pulled out, which would be a good item against the Guardian Weapon team. Calling in a mortar strike now onto the Guardian squad, which also knocks back the Guardian's weapon team, and a smoke round, reducing the max range of the weapons team as well. Guardians captured the northern flank. We do have the power point captured on up. All generators here, and we do not have this generator rebuilt yet. Guardians do get a little bit exposed thanks to that Sentinel. They do go on the wrong side of heavy cover there, and so the Imperial Guardsmen should be able to deal with them no problem. Thank you for the follow, Cringe Name 1. Guardian Squad may get wiped out here. The Sentinel is in pursuit now. 3 health, 1 health remaining. And the Guardian Squad does go down. In the middle, we do have, or down south, we do have the generator, extra generator that spawned up down the bottom. Will be destroyed. Guardian Squad team is set up in a defensive position, though really in a poor angle. Starting to reposition now. We do have a Imperial Guardsman and the Lord of Inquisitor switching forward. Generator being rebuilt over there. Does get a stun shot there. The artillery spotter is pushed his way forward down south and perhaps ready to fall in mortar on top of the heavy weapons team. The Guardian weapons team. Does get a knockback there and throws on some smoke onto the Guardian weapons team as well. Looks like the smoke reduced, the range is reduced before the smoke actually lands on the ground, which is interesting to note. Perhaps maybe they need to adjust that so there's a little bit more of a delay, or the smoke come down sooner. Or cast sooner. Some of the options there. Artillery spotter will need to fall back and decide to fall back with all of his forces. Lord Inquisitor has not been upgraded, and the Farseer has been upgraded to Armor Fortune, which allows them to buff up a single unit with the increased damage resistance.
The foe seeks to deprive us of a vital resource point.
The she-warriors grow in number. Speak, and our group will obey.
And we do have a Chimera now being deployed and now eyeing for some mechanized play.
Succeeded in our objective.
Tier 2 is being researched by the Sorcerers, not Sorcerer, the Farseer now, which could potentially get him a Bright Lance if needed. The Heavy Weapons team hasn't really been all that useful. The Artillery Spotter has been doing a good job of neutralizing as a threat.
Seizing this point.
Chimera is starting to make its advance. We do have some repairs out onto the Sentinel as well. And nice and napalm run. Forcing back those forces. No model drops, but still. The great use of all the support abilities is preventing those weapon teams from doing any sort of work. Did burn this Sentinel up a little bit there, however. Howling Banshees is ripping apart one of the generators now. And now we have the Chimera starting to make his advance with the support of the guard squads. Nothing a whole lot on down south. With his 5 squads versus just 3, the Farseer is lacking a lot of firepower. Perhaps maybe the Farseer is eyeing for some warp spiders, saving up for some. Or maybe for a Wraith Lord, likely for a Wraith Lord. Over here, the Howling Banshees managed to get some full gen bashing there. That's a big oversight. He will be able to escape on out of there with the Howling Banshees as well. May drop a model, but that's about it. Even then, that's still not likely dropping him a single model. Guardians are now charging, sprinting on forward, trying to capture up some territory.
Strategic location spotted. Send for the Warlock to lead our Guardians.
And now we have a Warlock being upgraded on the Guardsman, and we do have a Wraith Guard. Ooh, Wraith Guard. Wraith Guard are an AoE weapon. But I'm not so sure how the Elite mod actually balances them out a little bit. Because last time checked, yeah, they are just classified as Melta, not AoE Melta. Getting some great damage there. Frag missiles coming on out by the Sentinel as well. So it's going to be some good gen bashing here. It does fall back. Those forward models there getting ripped apart.
We have succeeded in our objective.
Wraithguard making advance. Does have the Warlock now here to support, which increases some movement speed. And getting some great damage there onto the Chimera. They can't move and shoot, but they're getting close to range. Getting some great damage there onto the Guardsmen. Looks like they still have AoE effect, that's for sure. And there goes the Chimera. Holy crap. Annihilating all these forces. He is not retreated back from this just yet. He's going to sustain a bit more damage. He does lose one of the Wraithguard models now, but he had sustained a lot of damage from the Wraithguard. The Wraithguard are now even at level 2 in the first engagement. They're not too far back, so after decapturing this point, or deactivating this point, the Wraithguard should decide to fall back to get reinforced and rehealed. More frag missiles raining on in. The Farseer will be capturing the point. They are going to call in a mortar strike on top of them. Looks like it doesn't have the damage upgrades on the artillery spotter just yet. Behind just for a disruption unit there, and nothing else. Wraithguard now fully reinforced, almost fully healed. Over here, Imperial Guardsmen have been reinforced and pushing out. They are upgraded plasma guns as well. No plasma grenade there by the Guardian squad. It seems like a pretty good time to throw a good plasma grenade there. We have a crossbow pistol, bolt pistol. The crossbow bolt pistol grants crippling volley, which immobilizes enemies. That includes Terminators. I'm highly assuming that includes Wraithguard.
One of our structures is under attack.
The time for speed has passed.
We have come to a desperate pass.
Guardsmen do not receive a frag grenade just yet. We got the crossbow bolt pistol right there. And setting lots of fire there. Oof. Make it fully wiped there. Frag missiles raining on in, so it's 40 health remaining, but looks like he will retreat on back. I was unable to get any additional melee hits.
We do what we must.
The bolt pistol's not very good against the power node itself, and we got Ogren now being deployed. Maybe a good idea to tie up the Wraithguard in melee, because I'm not going to win at range. Getting ripped apart and suppressed as well. Crack missiles being thrown on out. I'm not so sure how effective crack missiles are. Are Wraithguard classified as infantry or heavy infantry or vehicles? I'm honestly not exactly sure. Stormtroopers were spotted there, and they do immediately fall back, not being upgraded of anything at the moment. But the camouflage there will somehow still camouflage in the retreat.
Our mission above all.
Artillery spotter now pushes his way forward, which could knock around the Wraithguard, or at least reduce the range with the smoke rounds.
Send forth a warlock to lead our guard.
Ogren starting to make their way forward. The Guardian Weapon team will be very useful against the Ogren. Guardian Weapon team will get suppression off there. Now the Wraithguard should be able to engage no problem. The Farseer crashes go on in as well. Farseer has been upgraded the Gravity Blade, which can create levitation ability, which is a slow stun around the Farseers herself. And there it is, stunning all those forces, and now allowing the Wraithguard to get some good AoE damage in. Or to start sieging down the power generators once again, which he has been doing a great job with that as well. But he does knock back the Ogren pretty close to the Guardian Weapon team. The Guardian Weapon team will need to fall back relatively soon. We've got that webway gate going down. This northern point is captured up, and the webway gate's still up as well. All generators will go down there for the Imperial Guardsmen. And the Farseer is at tier 3, and did lose Guardian's Weapon team to the Ogren. Ogren are getting ripped apart there. With the Wraithguard on retreat path, he may get a squad wipe. Ogren down to the last 19 health. No, he targets the wrong thing. One melee hit there, and that was enough to take out the Ogren. A little bit too close, I would say.
So they resist.
Artillery spotted do get inside the building. It would be great if they call artillery from the building. Stormtroopers currently not upgraded. And Howling Banshees getting some great damage onto those Stormtroopers. The Stormtroopers are about ready to get fully wiped as well, but no, it falls back in time. It does falls back before taking out, but the Wraith Guard here don't capture the point. Take up the Stormtrooper. Does not take up the Stormtrooper. Farseer is engaging the Imperial Guardsmen with flamers in the center of the map, but you got the crossbow. Nope, that's a stun shot there by the Lord Commissar. I mean, Lord Inquisitor. And here comes some Guardians to come and support the Farseer. It's time to start capturing all these points. The Lord Inquisitor is still firing away with her bolt pistol. It is a ranged firing power weapon, so I'm not sure how effective the bolt pistol is actually at range damage. Doesn't seem all too impressive. Does spot the Webway gate, needs to load up some cracked missiles in order to really engage it successfully. There we go. Though something may pop out of it still.
The enemy has destroyed one of our structures.
The Webway gate does go down. The Farseer is saving up quite a bit of resources. Likely going to be an Avatar of War.
We are losing a victory objective.
And here comes the Avatar of War. Tier 3 being researched by the Lord Inquisitor. She does have enough to get out a Cadian Carson squad, but maybe a good idea to go for Stormtrooper with melta guns against the Avatar of War. Oh, the artillery spotter went down at one point in time. It is a pretty squishy squad. And the garrison's actually fully destroyed. It may have been went down with the garrison itself. Maybe to the Wraith Guard.
The foe seeks to deprive us of a vital resource point.
The tickets are heavily in favor towards the Lord Inquisitor. Webway Gate is still not spotted, so you will be able to reutilize it. And we've got hotshot, overcharged hotshot las guns with frag grenades. The Sentinel has taken quite a bit of fire there, may receive some Wraith Guard hits there. And we do have a bunker now deployed on out. Interesting. The Avatar of War, however, will make its appearance here. And could use the big explosion ability. Getting inside that bunker is a horrendous idea. There goes that Imperial Guardsman. Oof. That was nasty. But that was entirely his own fault. The Lord Inquisitor still has one Imperial Guardsman, so it still she still has extra repairs. But right now, she needs a Lehman Russ with Vanquisher turret. Crack missiles on the Southern Raynon in, but the Sentinel will likely go down, and he's going to use one of the abilities right here, perhaps the big AoE around itself, but this is just straight up. He has nothing against the Avatar of War. And here comes another big AoE ability. Responded pretty late to that. Minor damage. This one's being upgraded to melta guns. He's just going to charge. He's just going to take up the Avatar of War. Avatar of War could still potentially escape on out of here. Melta bomb does connect. And the hotshot las guns, overcharged hotshot las guns, tie up the Avatar of War melee, which is pretty successful. And the Avatar of War does go down. Largely was a sacrificial lamb. The The Wraith Guard, however, are still a massive threat to his opponent.
We have come to a desperate pass.
And a Sentinel does go down to the Howling Banshee, so it's never repaired. He still has one Guardsman for repairs itself. Looks like the artillery spotter may get wiped if they get focused down a little bit too hard. They got the levitation field there, stalling up the melter guns. Frag grenade was largely a whiff, and the Howling Banshee is going to be taking on these stormtroopers quite successfully. And the stormtroopers may themselves go down right here. The transfer sentry guns are trying to engage and does force back the Howling Banshee, saving that stormtrooper. Another Avatar War is now being deployed on out, and the amount of red points he has, he can bring in his own nuke, which are pretty effective versus Imperial Guardsmen. Wraith Guard, going to get some great AoE damage there. Holy crap. Down to 4 models with 100 HP left. Stormtroopers camouflaging the way forward.
The enemy has 200 points remaining.
And it's just triple capture against the Imperial Guardsmen will rapidly turn the pace of the game around. When it comes to VPs at least. Trying to capture 2 VPs at the moment. He needs resources as well. He needs a bit of everything. Something was called in right there? Howling Banshees now shouting at the melted guns. On the right side, we got the Wraith Guard now trucking on forward. They're fully vetted as well. Napalm Run comes on out, but the Imperial Guardsmen are about to get wiped. Note, the Imperial Guardsmen will escape on out there with the Sergeant and Commissar intact.
This Inquisitor has teeth.
And the Guardian Squad is falling back. He's getting some great damage there onto the Lord Inquisitor. And next Avatar War is charging forward. He needs some melted guns in the region. He's also really out of resources as well, so he's unlikely able to push any farther. Great damage onto the Imperial Guardsmen once again. And here comes the Avatar War. I'm going straight for the Bastion. Or, yeah, call Bastion. Just had to make sure. And there's the explosion ability. A little bit too early. Could have waited for the retreating squad to arrive. He is captured the northern point. The southern middle point is captured with the Farseer as well. He is starting to hit that Imperial Guardsman as well. Getting some good damage there. Crossbow bolt does snare the Howling Banshees. Getting more and more damage there and deciding to use the cone ability against the Stormtroopers. He does dodge in time. And the Avatar War is just going to be another sacrificial lamb, which he has the resources for it. He actually has enough resources for another enough energy anyways. Not necessarily enough requisition for another Avatar War, but pretty close to it. He's getting some great damage there, but the next Avatar War does go down.
Support structure.
Power points even being activated right there. One of the Stormtroopers actually, went down. He lost the melter guns to, I think, maybe the Howling Banshees.
Our kin watch from above.
Support structure.
The triple capture will rapidly go against the Imperial Guardsmen. And annihilates his own Howling Banshee with the Wraith Guard.
Caution has its place as well. Thunderstorm.
Guardians here are behind the heavy cover there. And his double capture still against his opponent. He can cast an Eldritch Storm whenever he so chooses. And here comes... No, that's actually not the Eldritch Storm. That is the Ruin Armor. And that's apparently pretty effective versus Imperial Guardsmen. Wraith Guard are going to just look and... Oh, completely whipped there. I thought they were going to get wiped there. 5 health, 4 health, 3 health, 2 health, 1 health. The Sergeant, all that remains. The Sergeant will not escape out of there. The Stormtroopers are... Fresh Stormtrooper has captured the northern point. The Imperial Guardsmen down to 8 tickets, but likely losing the levitation ability soon. With and the southern point is has been captured up by the Stormtroopers. The Eldari player has plenty of tickets remaining. Stormtroopers will be wiped out at the current rate. Yep. Both sets of Stormtroopers are now gone. Or nope, this one will escape out of there, but he just decides to cast in GG. And a third Avatar War is actually being deployed.
We have prevailed.
And it looks like the Imperial Guard's Lord Inquisitor has surrendered. This is Andrew Great saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.